Earlier this year, I celebrated my 26th birthday. And between then and the time of this recording, a few questions popped into my head. How does it feel knowing that I'm almost past my mid 20s? Am I satisfied with how I've been living my life? And what are my plans moving forward? These are questions that almost any adult in their 20s would ask themselves at some point in their lives. And just like everyone else, my answer is pretty much the same. I have no idea. Some don't treat this phase as a problem, but there are people who do, and they take it quite seriously. And unfortunately, I think I'm part of that latter group. When I really think about it, life just happened so fast. And even though deep inside I know I've come a long way, I have no idea how to process or reflect on the experiences I've gained and the memories I've collected. And this is probably why when people ask me about how my life has been so far, I would just say that it's been fine. It's a safe answer because I'm not really good at remembering the stuff that I did. Or so I thought. Because even if I do remember my achievements or any other things that I didn't really like making a big deal out of them. And there are many ways to find the word for this phenomenon, but I'll call it as it is. Indifference. And indifference takes shape in a lot of ways. In my case, it's when I constantly downplay my wins and life experiences and fail to acknowledge my own journey. For years, I've only been focusing on things that carried a lot of weight or achievements that, in my standards, were really worth sharing and celebrating. I've always felt that the things I'd achieved weren't really such a big deal, so I would just brush them off until I unintentionally forget about them. Back then, I even thought that this was me being humble, but obviously I was wrong. Because when I stumbled upon this video of life coach and content creator Josh Terry, I learned that this behavior is harmful for my growth and the way I perceive things in life.
Downplaying your achievements isn't humility, it's self-sabotage, because you need to know when you're winning. I work with people all the time who think it's an act of humility to see their accomplishments as small. But this isn't an act of humility, it's a lack of perspective. And when you lose perspective, you make bad decisions. If you over or underestimate your success, you will lose touch with reality. You need to know exactly where you are, and that includes knowing when you've done a good job.
To be honest, this video really struck a chord with me because it absolutely captured what I've been doing all these years. And that's the fact that I have been so caught up in the speed of life, always in the pursuit of the next big but superficial thing, that I've forgotten to be present in the moment and embrace my journey. Most importantly, this also meant that I have not been expressive enough with how grateful I am to experience the life that I have right now. As we age, we slowly come to terms with the fact that our time here is limited. Once you finally accept that, you realize that there will come a time that you'll need to connect the dots in your life. And when that time comes, it'll be disappointing if you'll have no dots to connect. Which is why I have been making an effort to shake off this old habit of mine by documenting my life with clear intent and purpose. For what it's worth, I think documenting your life is one of the easiest ways to start appreciating what you have and how far you've come. After all, our life stories are all made up of experiences that we can remember, and there's no better way of remembering stuff than keeping a record of events that we can all go back to. And there are many ways to document our lives. It can be as simple as taking photos or videos. Some dabble in journaling. Some do quick notes or even voice memos. The choices are basically endless, but at the end of the day, it won't matter unless you actually do it. And I believe that if we choose the one that's the most fun for us to do, it'll be easier for us to commit to it. Personally, I like taking photos or videos because it helps me get creative with how I would capture each moment. So when the time comes that I want to share a story about these moments in life, I can easily convert them into something worthwhile. Now, capturing moments may sound a little bit trivial now that taking pictures with our phones is pretty much our default behavior whenever we do something. But then again, because we do these things by default, Usually these photos will just get lost in our gallery and never to be looked at again. But when we document with clear intent, we consciously recognize the importance of the moment, making it less likely to be forgotten. Nowadays, it's so easy to get caught up in the chaos of life, of being an adult, but when the dust settles, you know that nothing feels better than being able to look back and remember the things that you did to get to where you are now. It is unfortunate how living in this fast-paced society just makes everything purely utilitarian. Things get done for the sake of getting done, events happening for the sake of happening. The moments that could become milestones, the days that could become beautiful flashbacks, would just get lost in the practicality of living. So let this video be a reminder for my future self about how I want to change things, how I want to pause and ponder, how I want to remember the small details and collect moments, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. This way, I won't just have core memories, I would have a story to tell.